Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on Playback TV, Sixers versus Cavaliers at 7:30 p.m. Playback.tv/runitbackphilly. We watch the game live, perfectly in sync. We have a blast over there. It's the future. It's the Twitch of sports streaming. Jump in while it's hot. Playback TV. Playback.tv/runitbackphilly. Join the growing community. Let's get into this. Charles Bassey officially signs a 4-year contract with the San Antonio Spurs for around $10 million. And it's still crazy to me that the Sixers didn't just roll with Charles Bassey at backup center. He's 6'10", 250 pounds, can rebound, can block shots, can play the offensive side of the ball a little bit, is really just exactly what the Sixers needed at backup center. We released him to leave an open roster spot. No real reason whatsoever. And he now signs a 4-year contract with the San Antonio Spurs, and that's funny because the coach that Doc Rivers thinks he is, Greg Popovich, knows how to appreciate and develop young talent, and Doc Rivers does not know how to do that. To add salt to the wound, Isaiah Joe is currently leading the NBA in three-point percentage. That's wild too. And if you really just think about the fact that the Sixers, if they didn't have Doc Rivers being such a detriment to young talent and anti-development and a stubborn old son of a bitch dinosaur who doesn't listen to anyone and thinks everybody has to be a 30-year-old veteran to play in the NBA, they could have a bench lineup of Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey, Isaiah Joe, Jalen McDaniels, and Charles Bassey. And ladies and gentlemen, that would be a very deep team. But we don't. We have Doc Rivers ruining all of the young talent that passes through the front doors of this organization. And it's just what we're stuck with. But Charles Bassey signs a 4-year contract with the San Antonio Spurs. And just to, commemorate him and say what could have been, here's a little video of some Charles Bassey highlights against Denver in November of 2021. Ooh, the Euro. What a finish. Wow, man. It's almost like he can play in the NBA. Seth with the dime. Nice finish by our used-to-be backup center. Here's a nice block. Oh, get that out of here. Wow, imagine that. A 6'10", 250-pound player who can play defense. Incredible. Who would have thought? Here he is defending Nikola Jokic. Oh, can't get that out of here. There's an air ball from Jokic because we had a backup center that played good defense. Here he is in the post. Another dime from Seth Curry. Nice finish from Bassey. Man, Charles Bassey, guys, just watch him. He's like a gazelle on the court. If you could build a backup center in a lab, he's exactly what you would build. Here he's setting a screen for Korkmaz, who's currently in Turkey because of an earthquake. Nice dime from Turkish superstar Korkmaz. What's this one? What's this one going to be? Charles Bassey rolling to the rim. Offensive rebound on a Shake Milton air ball. Thank you, Charles Bassey, for your time here. I'm sorry that you had to endure Doc Rivers. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful NBA career in a organization that appreciates young talent and knows how to develop players. There you have it, Charles Bassey. So speaking of Charles Bassey, Doc Rivers cannot play Dwayne Dedmon. He can't play Dwayne Dedmon. If Doc Rivers plays Dwayne Dedmon, we must riot. We have to. If Doc Rivers plays Dwayne Dedmon at backup center, we have to riot. We got to go down to Broad Street, and we have to flip cars and burn buildings and smash windows and fight the police. We have to riot if Doc Rivers plays Dwayne Dedmon. We have to. People are telling me he's not going to play, which is possible. You know, maybe he was just to fill a roster spot, the end of the bench. Don't know why that's not Charles Bassey. But it's Dwayne Dedmon. Let me show you something, guys. In December, in 45 minutes, the Miami Heat are getting absolutely killed in Dwayne Dedmon minutes. With him on the floor this month, they are a minus 34 with an 80.6 offense and 114 defensive rating. Opponents are also shooting 78% at the rim and 48% in the mid-range when Dwayne Dedmon is on the floor. He absolutely should no longer be in the NBA. He can't move. He can't play defense. He can't rebound. He can't do anything. He's worse than Montrezl Harrell. He's definitely worse than Paul Reed. To put it into perspective, Dwayne Dedmon in December was a minus 34 for the Miami Heat. In the playoffs last year against the Toronto Raptors in 6 games, maybe 5. Did we win in 5? I think it was 6, but it might have been 5. Either way, Paul Reed, the backup center that Doc Rivers hates, and in spurts of the season refuses to even put on the floor until, Montrezl Harrell is so bad that the entire city of Philadelphia wants somebody to return with Doc Rivers' head on a stick. He then plays Paul Reed for a month, and then Paul will have a bad foul or a bad turnover, and Doc will bench him for the rest of the season. That's what he's done. But anyway, in that Toronto Raptors series, last playoffs, athletic, young, defensive team, Toronto Raptors, Paul Reed, in all of the backup center minutes in that series, was a minus 2. Dwayne Dedmon, in December for the Miami Heat, was a minus 34. Paul Reed for the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs against the Toronto Raptors was a minus 2. Again, I'm not saying Paul Reed is a superstar. I'm not saying Paul Reed is an amazing NBA player. I'm saying for the Philadelphia 76ers to have the best chance to win an NBA championship, they must survive Embiid-less minutes. When Joel Embiid sits on the bench, this team completely collapses. This is basic math. You have to go with a minus 2 over a minus 34. I'm telling you right now, tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers, if Dwayne Dedmon, and Joel Embiid is questionable, by the way, so Doc might even have more of a reason to put this 33-year-old geriatric nursing home patient in the game. If tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Doc Rivers plays Dwayne Dedmon over Paul Reed or over Montrezl Harrell, we must riot. We must absolutely riot. And honestly, at this point, Paul Reed has earned the backup center position once again. I'm not sure why this guy has to keep earning the position. He earned it last year in the playoffs against the Raptors. Don't put anything past Glenn Anton Rivers. I'm telling you, you think it sounds crazy for Dwayne Dedmon to be the backup center of this team? You think it sounds crazy? It sounds crazy to cut the best three-point percentage shoot. It sounds crazy to release the best three-point shooter in the NBA for free. It sounds crazy to release Charles Bassey for free. Both of those players are now on contracts with other teams because they have value. You didn't even trade them for a second-round pick. So if it sounds crazy, and it sounds like something nobody in their right mind would do, you can count on Glenn Anton Rivers to do it. I'm just letting you know. Tonight against the Cavs, if Doc Rivers puts Dwayne Dedmon on the floor, we must riot. Tune in to playback.tv/runitbackphilly tonight, 7:30, Sixers Cavs. Join the growing community. Hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Y'all have a fantastic day.